Okay, welcome back to another episode of the Day After Podcast.
What's up, guys? I hope you had an awesome weekend or week whenever this video comes out. Yeah, uh, it's time. It's time for the draft.
Yeah. All Star 7. Oh man, we're almost up to All Stars 8. Like we're almost done with the two series.
I know. And hell, depending on when this All Stars come out, not the draft, it'll be pretty much a month out from when actual Survivor comes back on.
Exactly. We might be finishing up the series right around the same time that Survivor kicks into gear.
I
That'd be
know. I know.
ideal to just go straight from Bram Steele back into it.
I know. It's crazy. Like as we said, like when Joe came to me to start doing this, like it was talking about like the shows and stuff, and the Brand Steel was like a random thing he did during like December, and I was like, all right, let's go for it.
Mhm.
And so it's going to be interesting finally reviewing episodes and stuff again.
Exactly, because the brand steelers were only designed to be done one or two times in between seasons. It's kind of like giving some gap between the long periods of time, but because of COVID, it became the channel.
Pretty much. I mean, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun. But yeah. Yeah, so let's get into the
let's
draft.
let's
All right.
do it. Since you had someone who won All Star 6, let's let you draft for this one.
All right. We usually start with guys, so this time I'm going to start with a girl. And the
Sounds
girl
good.
I'm going to start with is Chambers from Fantasy Island 2.
Chambers, okay.
One of the biggest badasses we've had on Brand Steel.
Mhm.
Played a similar game to um, Cole Sprouse way
Uh-huh.
back in our Celebrity Survivor, where her and alliances didn't really mix, and she got
Mhm.
super far. So yeah, I just have to choose her.
I think that's a good pick. I could definitely see her be on this all-star list.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice. Um, okay, then I'm going to pick a girl, and it's going to be Jeannie Robin Chen from our Survivor 41 predictions.
Good choice. Good choice.
Yeah, I think she would play really good. The only person who had been on the Yawa tribe to make it to the end.
Yeah, that one, that famously cursed tribe.
Yeah.
That prediction video. If you haven't seen it, pause. I mean, there's a minor spoiler, but like just just how everything played out. And I mean, if you're watching this draft, I'm assuming you've watched the other things as well, because like
Yeah.
obviously there's going to be spoilers throughout
A
this.
lot of you should only watch the All Stars if you had to watch the previous 5 episodes.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, Jeannie is a good one. Jeannie was also on my list. Yeah, she's great. I think from what I'm hearing from fans and stuff, and one of the Facebook groups I'm in, Jeannie is very well received so far.
Yeah,
Only from just pointing off screen somewhere.
I know, right? Yeah, no, I'm excited for her. I think she's gonna be kind of one of the older ones who goes in and actually does well. So we'll see.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. All right. So my first guy. Speaking of season 41, I have to go with Danny M.
Yeah, that's who I was gonna pick.
He's just like, you have the person who had immunity all the way up to the finale. Like,
Yeah, he had 36 days, or he couldn't have gone home.
that it's like baffling. It just became so crazy. Like, even with the immunity challenges and stuff in there, how like it was like either 8 or 9 people never went to tribal before the merge, and him not having to be vulnerable all the way
Yeah.
up till then was like absolutely bonkers. So like, and for me, who appreciates, challenge beasts and stuff.
Mhm.
I had to pick him.
Yeah,
Like,
I think he was the most lockout of everyone, to be honest.
yeah,
I mean, you win 7 challenges like in a row. That's instant all-star. Like even if you don't like challenges, you gotta respect that.
exactly.
Nice. I think that's a good pick. Um, for my first guy pick, I'm going to go with an underdog, someone who was getting voted against quite a lot, and that's Jason Linden.
Yeah, Jason was a big fighter
Mhm.
in Unsung Heroes,
Yeah.
which is fitting because unsung. Well, I mean, he got. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
people were saying he was
he
trying.
got an edits. Like a few people on that season, they get pretty good edits, and I think he was one of them. Getting voted for basically every time they could vote for him, racking up 28 votes at the end.
Yeah, yeah, that was it's brutal.
Yeah,
But despite all that, going pretty far in.
mhm, exactly. So yeah, I think Jason will be another good choice as kind of someone who might be a good meat shield for some of these other players.
Definitely, definitely.
Mhm.
All right. So for my next pick for one of the girls, I have to go with Jatia. I
Jatia,
mean,
yeah.
her end game and everything, like, and how she kind of turned everything around. Like, at first we were like, don't let Jatia go too far, but then she
Mhm.
started rooting for her because she was like
Yeah,
doing very, very good. Uh,
yeah.
yeah,
I mean, she won out. She from final 7 onwards, she either had an idol to play for herself or she won immunity.
yeah. So obvious, like for that, I was like, I have to put her down. I have to put her down, like because
Mhm.
it's a pretty impressive win,
Yeah,
especially since Russell was playing one hell of a game.
exactly. Yeah. I definitely think she was a standout. She was on my reserve list in case you didn't pick her. Um,
Nice,
so I'm
nice.
glad that she's there. Awesome. Okay, I think I'm gonna dip into the Fantasy Island pool and pick up Ochako Uraraka, uh,
Nice.
who had a pretty impressive immunity wins on the season. I think if she makes it to the end, I think she wins.
Yeah, I
Because
definitely agree with
her
that.
and Rick Sanchez were kind of tied together. I think if she gets the end, I think Rick doesn't get as much credit as he ends up doing in the final three.
No, yeah, I totally get it. How like when I was like reviewing everything, I actually had trouble remembering who won because like there was a lot of like memorable stuff that happened in that season.
Mhm.
But like Rick played such a good game that it was hard to like see his game.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
uh,
well, I don't think he was out there to play. I think he was trying to prove to everyone how easy
how easy,
Survivor is, like how great he is, that he can kind of
yeah,
just walk through it. Like, I don't think he's coming back to me. Like, unless you pick like 3 guys that are on my list, I'm actually not gonna bring him back.
uh,
I think he's just wanting to say peace out. I won.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, Uraraka was definitely someone we were rooting for. In some ways, she was like a better version of Lisa Simpson. She kind of fulfilled the same role
Mhm.
um, in Fantasy Island too as Lisa Simpson, but I think she elevated that. You know,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we'll also get to see if she does better than Izuku Midoriya because he also came back from All Stars and did
yeah,
not make the merge.
we'll see. We'll see. Speaking of anime, for my next pick from the guys, I have to go with Light Yagami, who played a very,
Yes.
very, very impressive pre-merge. Things kind of started to fall apart
Yeah.
at the merge a little bit, but I mean, he still makes it a little bit further. But like his idle plays, his manipulation, he's he did a very stellar job, and just you saw how much of a threat he was, and he had to get canned.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, him and Joe the Angel were quite a
Yeah,
force to be reckoned with.
you were his
Unfortunately,
Shinigami.
yeah. Unfortunately for Light, he ends up going out early. Like his friendship with Joe kind of leads him down the wrong path.
Yeah,
But but yeah, he really did play a great game. Like he played an idol correctly. I think did he play two idols correctly? If I'm
two. I well, no, he did get an advantage on Exile as
Mhm.
well.
Got it. Yeah.
So like he had like two or three advantages under his belt.
Yeah. I mean, he was definitely playing hard. Like he was one of the ones I was definitely rooting for, honestly, to win that season.
I was
Mhm.
freaking scared of him the entire time.
Yeah.
And I had nothing. I was legit scared of what he was going to do.
Mhm. Nice, nice. Okay, so now I got another guy here to pick. I think I'm gonna pick up someone from our villain season. Makes it to the end. I'm picking Russell Hantz.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he definitely earned his spot this time around.
Mhm.
Like, fantastic game.
Like honestly, it's weird because I think he actually plays a really good social game this season. Like he's kind of in with the right people and is able to kind of navigate it normally, um, and still loses to Jatia, which
And I
is
mean,
hilarious.
like, his idol game has improved because, yeah, he's
Mhm.
one of the most famous people when it comes to like, when you think of like hidden immunity idols, we're talking about the guy who was like, I don't need a freaking clue. It's out there. Let me go get it.
Mhm.
One of the first, like, the first like person to really do that. And
Yeah.
but like he's if you see his gameplay, he usually spends it pretty fast.
Mhm.
Like, and that was part of the like surprise with his blindsiding, I believe it was Laura, was
Mhm.
that, like, oh, there's no way he found an idol again that fast. And it's like,
Mhm.
surprise, mother.
Yeah.
So this time he was very, very reserved with it. Um,
Mhm.
so
Yeah, he had like the
he
sleeper
definitely,
threat edits, like
I don't know, like, I guess because we were watching, like, we knew that he was up to no good.
yeah. I mean,
And
he finds an idol episode one. Like
yeah,
he's still like he was ready, he just never had to use it really. He only
pretty
used
much.
it in the final five when idol Geddon was pretty much a thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That
Yeah,
was so he's definitely going to be a good contestant this time around.
yeah, definitely.
All right, for number 5, I have um it's funny, Russell Hantz was on the Suicide Squad season. Now we have someone from the actual Suicide Squad. We have Ratcatcher too.
You're picking up Ratcatcher.
I was talking to Joe how I've already seen it twice in theaters, and whenever this video comes out, well, I'm seeing it again like tomorrow when we're of the time of recording.
Mhm.
Like, I love that movie, and she's one of the reasons. She's fun, played by the very talented Daniela Melchior. Um, yeah, fantastic, and her gameplay um, in there was good. And I feel she is someone where maybe she learned some lessons this time around.
Mhm.
Align with the right people. I think she can do well
Yeah, hopefully she can make it further into the merge this
and
time.
actually use her legacy advantage.
Yeah. I mean, whoever gets the legacy advantage first has to go out at some point. That's like just the rule with that
Yeah,
advantage. They
yeah,
gotta gift it.
it's a
Yeah,
cursed item.
exactly. So we'll see how Ratcatcher 2 does. My next pick, I'm going back to the Suicide Squad as well, and that's but not an actual Suicide Squad member, but the person who screwed themselves over in Advantage Geddon, Abby Maria.
Yeah, that one was quite the upsetting thing. That
She
was
could have made it to Final Four, maybe even won. She was honestly playing a very good game up to this point.
she played the best game she's ever done because usually she doesn't last too long, and
Yeah.
it's just like she does that and then boom.
How don't you play the idol on yourself at Final Five? That's my question. She plays it on Joe Mena, someone who she's not even like aligned with. Like she just plays it on someone else.
I don't know. I don't know. I guess like trying to get jury votes or like
Yeah.
flex, but sometimes when you flex, you get X.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is now her second time playing an idol for someone else and going home that tribal. So
Yeah.
maybe she should just not find an idol. I'm actually scared now if she finds an idol because that means she's going to go home because she misplays it.
Probably, probably, but we'll see. We will see. All right. Next up, we have someone else from our Suicide Squad season. We got Brad Culpepper. You know, winning fan favorite. You know, he was doing good for quite some time. Very charismatic in the beginning, and you know, he kind of went out. It's not like at the very beginning of the merge, but like you know,
I mean,
he was
he got
relatively
seventh
close.
place. Like he actually makes it pretty
Yeah,
far.
I know, and that's a tough season too because no tribal swaps.
Mhm.
And then you know, obviously, the merge is at number 10 for heroes versus villains. So like,
Yeah,
getting it that far is always tough, especially in that simulation.
exactly.
So yeah,
But yeah, I think he was playing a pretty good game, all things considered. I mean, really just loses because he gets idled out by Jatia.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that's a good pick. I think for my next pick, I'm going to All Star Six now. This is I think our first All Star Six returning player, and I'm bringing back double lifts.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Double lift. Always good to watch him. He's a, you know, I wouldn't say, I wouldn't say he's a villain or even an anti-hero. He's like a straight up like an antagonist that kind of plays by his own rules.
Yeah, I want to see him and Light Yagami honestly get into it because I feel like they have this similar aura when they're out there. Like they're definitely conniving and trying to make sure that they're always getting out on head, but they're not afraid to ruffle any feathers.
No. I would say that double lift might be more in your face about it. Light is more.
Yeah.
Light is definitely more of a sleeper.
Yeah, Light's gonna get someone else to get into your face. Like that's how he would do it. He would convince someone that you talk bad about them, and
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. All right. So next up, for my second to last girl, I feel like I have to bring Brenda.
Brenda.
Also doing very well in freaking All-Star 6, where it was basically her and Bob Crowley against the world. Yeah. And it was like that little alliance, and that dynamic duo did pretty well. And she also did well, all things considered, when I was like, who should I bring? All right, Brenda, here you go. Your shot. So yeah, because of that, and making it so far deep in, because whenever we use an Australian Survivor season simulator, it's always brutal. It's long. It's like, how the fuck do any of them make it that far?
Yeah, it's hard. It really because we have to pick more people, but actually not as many people really make the jury phase. So a lot of great players have to get cut early.
Less than half.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's a good pick. She makes it extremely far that season as well. Cool. Next up, I'm going to pick someone from the Unsung Heroes season, and I'm going to pick Jeffra.
You picked a lot of the people that were. I have like a pretty massive girls list. You've taken quite a bit of them.
Yeah. It's a you know I gotta say these are in my opinion some of the best ones there. I gotta pick the best.
She was also a blonde, and I haven't really picked a blonde girl yet. How dare you?
Well, I'm sure there's more. um, yeah. I mean, Jeffra was a huge standout in Unsung Heroes. Win some immunities, all that kind of stuff. I think she could have won if she makes it to the end. Honestly, I think. Yeah, and the thing is, like, only two girls make it very far in that season. You got Jeffra and you got Debbie. Like, the girls get decimated besides that.
Yeah, that one was like I said, another brutal season. Especially since girls were like really, really getting that oolong treatment for a little bit. But yeah, Jeffra, like I said, I was considering to making it to like final 5, and then like they were like, no. See you. Alrighty. So for my number 8, I'm choosing Ricard from season 41. One, he won, and 2, you know, like his gameplay was pretty solid. You know, having good alliances, making him pretty far, pretty good at the social game and strategy. So yeah, I definitely felt like he has earned a spot in All Stars. Hasn't even played Survivor yet. He could be the very first boot for all we know.
Yeah, exactly.
He's an all-star. He's a star before he and Danny are huge stars on our Brant Steele simulation.
Yeah, it's gonna be sad if they go out there and they're pre-merge.
Yeah, but oh well, you know.
Yeah.
Live and learn.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if Francesca can be a huge star on our channel, so can
definitely. You know what? I'm gonna bring another person from Survivor 41 since we're on that train. I'm bringing back Nasir Mutalif.
Yeah, your villain pick.
Yeah. Also part of the Yawa tribe as well. That makes it very far. You know, and he kept kind of avoiding elimination. There's a lot of times where he really should have gone home, and somehow he just kept sliding by all the way to final 6.
I know he was very, very resilient throughout that whole thing. So yeah, pretty solid choice.
Nice.
All right, for my number 9 spot, my last girl. It's something like we had Catherine Newton kind of being the person that was in every single All Stars. I feel like Regina is not done yet.
I was gonna pick her. Damn.
Regina has to come back.
I was in the same boat. Like, she makes a jury face here. She got to get one more attempt.
I know, and she totally got in a screwy position, which is twice where it happened to her because it was like the simulation just kind of.
Yeah, it put her into a place where she, you know, I like honestly, any way she went, she would have been targeted because of how the game gave her that position. So yeah, definitely unfortunate. So I'm hoping, you know, we get to see season 1 Regina again, because that was so dominant.
Definitely. I mean, we got a lot of big personalities out here. I mean, like Regina George and Russell kind of being on the same season.
Yeah.
That alone, and also Regina and Abby Maria, who, you know, Abby Maria is probably the biggest mean girl in Survivor.
Exactly.
So it's definitely going to be interesting to see her dynamic with some of these people who she hasn't played with yet, especially since a lot of these people have not. I think other than like Doublelift and Brenda, technically, she hasn't really played with anyone else that's on here. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am.
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, we've been doing pretty good on trying to have a lot of new people in the series.
Yeah, Yeah.
which is always hard because we've done so many of these already. So every time we can bring new people and they do well, it's always nice.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, man, Regina. Now I have to choose one of my backup girls. You know what? I'm going to choose someone also from All Star 6.
All
Someone
right.
who had a very good run. Could have won the season if a few things went her way. And I'm choosing Anne Bonny.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. This was a big breakout season for her too. I think this was definitely she got a lot more screen time, making Final Four. It was basically in Final Four. It was either her or Forky that should have won the season. Um,
Yeah.
and tides turned to Forky. He just lined himself up into such a better position than Anne.
Yeah. Forky was definitely I mean, Forky, he always has delivered in every single season he's been in.
Yeah.
I would say that it earns him a spot for All Star 7. However, I feel like there is one person that is a little bit more worthy and who still hasn't won on a brand seal, despite being on here quite a few times. And that's Bob Crowley.
Bob Crowley.
He did a fantastic job, in All Star 6, making it far, using what a lot of people would consider a bad advantage of the dead man walking one, where it's kind of like, and using the idol for that and then having it targeted on someone else, it worked and that person got eliminated as a result. So it was a very, very controversial decision at the time, and I guess it's still arguable if it was the right decision. However, he made it further than he probably would have otherwise. So it worked out in his favor. Or, I mean, it was a bigger move because even if he played the idol in Next Tribal Council and saved himself from elimination, it still kind of merits the same kind of moving forward, except this time he would have a vote.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, Bob Crowley. I'm excited to see him play again. Honestly, he's been delivering these last few times he's been out there. So let's see if that continues.
Yep,
nice.
He rounds up the rest of my team.
Nice. And now time to round out the rest of my team. Ryan, I'm going to be honest. I didn't think I'd be saying this right now. Who my last pick is? It's someone who is despicable and got onto a season that they had no right to get onto. And that is the evil Easter Bunny, Lord Hopkins.
Oh my fucking God. I mean, he did good his season.
Yeah, that's the thing. He makes it to the end. Honestly, almost wins. I think he he really gave Rick Sanchez a run for his money too.
I can't. It's like because I was like, oh shit. Hopefully, he follows suits with the good Easter Bunny. But he came around. Lord Hopkins was definitely I still didn't want him to win, but he definitely gave us something to he made for good TV.
Yeah, exactly. And what better for the last pick to just go for a good TV? We'll have I'm sure he'll at least give us some funny moments. But yet again, I'm in the same boat. If someone here goes pre-merge, I'm wanting it to be Lord Hopkins.
Yeah. I would say I don't really have too many. I mean, there are some people where I'd be okay if they went home early, but I wouldn't say I have too much tribal fodder on my side.
Yeah, there's a lot of good people that we picked.
Because it was such a loaded
this was a strong group.
Season 7 was definitely tricky to choose. Yeah, definitely a lot of standouts. So yeah. All right. So here are our teams. For me, I have Chambers, Danny M from season 41, Jatia, Light Yagami, Ratcatcher 2, Brad Culpepper, Brenda from Survivor 21 and 26, Ricard from season 41, Regina George, and Bob Crowley.
Nice, nice. And I have Jeannie Robin Chen, Jason Linden, Ochaka Uaraka, Russell Hance, Abby Maria Gomes, Double Lift, Jeffra Bland, Nasir Mutalif, Anne Bonny, and Lord Hopkins.
Yeah, it's a very interesting mix this time. It's always an interesting mix. It is a very interesting mix. You got a mixture of kind of crazy contestants, some people who are future Survivor contestants, some people that are, Survivor legends. We got a lot.
Yeah, I have I just realized how I drafted here. I have like 3 good people, and then I just have a bunch of villains. Like I have Russell, I got Abby, I got Double Lift, I got Nasir, I got Anne Bonny, I got Evil Easter Bunny. Like this is gonna be a tribe that's just gonna try to blow up.
Looks like it. I'd say I have a healthy mix of actually I'd say I have more heroes in a way. At least when it comes to like Ricard and Danny, they, based off of the season that they played in our brand steel, I'd say they have more of a hero thing. Brad, it's debatable. Like it's one of those things where it's like it's debate. Granted, he was on the villain season, but I'm someone that doesn't really consider him a villain. Regina George, yeah, she's obviously a villain. Ratcatcher 2, she is, part of the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
But she's also she loves rats. She's nice. You got Chambers, who's like a badass anti-hero. Jatia in our Suicide Squad season, I wouldn't say she's like a hero or anything, but she beat Russell, so
yeah, she beats Russell at Russell's game, to be honest.
Yeah. And then we got Bob and Brenda, pretty much hero underdogs from that season.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this should be a good one. I'm excited for us to do this next week.
Hell yeah.
Cool. Then I guess we'll see you guys next week.
All right. Peace.
Adios.